That's Julio Fulio, fam. Julio Fulio was a rapper, Jacksonville rapper, who lost his life about a month ago to violence. This after he was smoking on some dead people. He bragged a whole lot about death, bragged a whole lot about killing people and people that had been killed. And so it was no surprise, it came to no surprise that he himself found himself victim to the very same thing that he rapped about, that he bragged about, that he got paid to do. On today, the Tampa Police Department held a press conference with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. They announced that their investigation identified 5 suspects who worked together to plan and execute the elaborate murder plot against Foolio. So far, let me put their pictures up right quick. So far, Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, and Sean Gathright are the 3 who have been arrested. The remaining 2 suspects who police believe committed the shooting with Gathright are still on the run. All are being charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Police believe that Foolio shared his location on social media multiple times while he was in Tampa celebrating his birthday in June. The suspects allegedly trailed him across each location. When he ended his night in the early morning hours of June 22nd, the shooters had followed him to a Holiday Inn where they staged across the street from the hotel. They are then seen on surveillance camera walking to the parking lot area of the hotel where they ambushed a vehicle Foolio was riding in. 3 other people were injured, though Foolio was the only fatality. Authorities believe all 5 suspects traveled from Jacksonville, where Foolio had a long-running feud with several groups. The issues often spilled over online and in music. Reporters asked Jacksonville Police Sheriff T.K. Waters if Foolio's death might have been in retaliation to a rap feud with another rapper. Waters confirmed the rival rapper was not a suspect in the case. So they got video of these guys pulling up on dude and gunning him down. They say that 1 handgun and 2 rifles was used in the murder. Here's the deal, fam. Here's the deal. Youngsters, I hope y'all listening today. If you put that pistol in your hand, you're going to jail. Here's how I know you're going to jail. If you grab that pistol, this is how I know you're going to jail. Because I went to jail. The moment I grabbed that pistol, I couldn't leave home without it. It was like the American Express card. I couldn't leave home without it. You get comfortable with it. It's like going somewhere with your friends. Like it's like going into the club with your partners. Y'all together, y'all, you don't really move unless y'all move as a unit. That pistol is a lot like that. Once you start carrying that pistol on you, you don't leave home without it. When you're young, as I was when I first started, when you're young, you really don't have the social, you don't have the psychological skill set, the emotional skill set to make good decisions as it pertains to conflict. Because a lot of youngsters, they think once they get the gun says comply, shut up, do as I say. And if you don't, I'm going to squeeze this trigger. The gun says if you come toward me, if you threaten me in any way, if I feel threatened in any way, I have a right to pull this thing out and clap you. And a lot of times, there's got to be millions and millions and millions of people who would be alive today. I'm talking about specifically in the United States. If they or the person that they were dealing with didn't have a gun. Because the gun is the boss. In your mind, the gun is the boss. The gun say, I'm running the show. The gun say, if I'm losing the argument, I can just end the argument by pulling out a gun. Right? The gun says, I could walk away from this argument, but because I got a gun, I'm going to stand my ground. Typically, I would walk away. But in this case, I'm not walking away because I got a gun. The gun says, even though I probably could whoop you in fighting, and I'm pretty sure I could whoop you fighting, but because I got a gun, I don't want to waste my time doing all of that. I need to end this as soon as possible. So you pull out a gun. Put that gun in your hand, you're going to jail. You going to jail. Even if it's just a situation where you get caught in possession of a gun, you're going to jail. When you're young, you just don't have the mental capacity to make good decisions and have a gun in close proximity. When you're really young, you just don't make a lot of good decisions, period. Hell, it's grown people that don't make good decisions. It's people that's been living 50 years that still don't make good decisions. So imagine your learning curve if you're just a teenager or you're your early 20s. Don't be so arrogant that you think you know everything, that you're smarter than people who came before you. Don't be so arrogant that you won't listen, that you would dismiss the information that I'm giving you as something that's coming from an old man. Because I'm going to tell you something. This dude right here, I got a lot of fire in me. And I don't mind conflict, but I try to avoid it because it's costly. I try to avoid it because it's costly. I'm not concerned more so what you're going to do to me. I'm more concerned what I'm going to do to you or the next person and what it's going to cost me for doing that to you. So I try my best to avoid conflict. But if you push me up against the wall, I'm going to give you everything you're looking for. But again, I try to avoid conflict. These youngsters, once they get that gun in their hand, it make them feel powerful. I remember growing up, I was in the 4th grade, 10 years old. I had a dog. I was 4th grade. No, I said 10 years. I was 9. I think I was 9. I had this dog. I had a dog. And this dog was a Rottweiler. I was already a little aggressive as a kid already. And I'm living in the hood where a lot of times people that's older than you try to bully you. Even grown folks would try to bully. Well, not necessarily grown folks at that time. I'm talking about when I was really younger. You know, it might be like somebody, I'm 9. It might be somebody like in middle school or high school trying to bully you, right? But when I got that Rottweiler, when I got that dog, when I got that Rottweiler, put that bad boy on the chain, because we didn't have leeches, we had chains back then. Y'all know nothing about that. You see what I'm saying? Walked down the block, wasn't scared of nothing. I wasn't scared of nothing because I knew if anybody got out of line, I was going to let that bad girl go. And she was going to rip them apart. So nobody messed with me when I was walking with that rock. Man, they see me coming, they cross the street. I like that. I like that. This is how a lot of guys use guns. This is why they show the gun off when they're on social media, showing the gun off. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I got a gun, I got a gun, I got a gun. Hey, you. This is why they end up killing themselves sometimes inadvertently, accidentally killing themselves, killing their cousins, killing their friends, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't respect what the gun is for. You should never aim a gun at anything you don't intend on destroying. Never point a gun at anybody, anything that you don't plan on destroying. Because even if you didn't plan on doing it, if that thing slipped, if for whatever reason it malfunctioned and that bullet come out of that chamber, you ain't gonna be able to chase that bullet down and put it back in that chamber. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Bullet gone, life over, and now you ain't got nothing but consequences ahead of you. So they got 3 guns aimed at Fulio and 3 other people. Well, they trying to kill Fulio. So they kill Fulio, injure 3 other people, and everything is caught on camera. Risk versus reward. Think about risk versus reward. Okay, I know I'm mad, I'm emotional right now, but man, I want to do something bad, man. I want to do it. You got to be like that dude. And what was that? Was that Menace to Society? They was riding, and yeah, was that? I think that was Menace to Society. They was riding, and Cuba Gooding Jr. said, "Let me out." He said, "Let me out." He didn't want to go do it. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I may have my gangster movies mixed up, but I think that was Cuba Gooding Jr. Or was that okay? No, that wasn't Boys in the Hood. I think that was Cuba Gooding Jr. If it was Boys in the Hood, then the character would have been. Okay, that was Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, right. My bad. That's Cuba Gooding Jr. Where he said, "Let me out, let me out," because he thought about it. He thought about what his daddy had told him all that time. He thought about that girl that he had at home. He thought about what the consequences would be if he go out there and roll on them dudes. More than likely, there's going to be some retaliation, so he could end up losing his life. Because a lot of times we think about what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do, but we don't know what the person on the other end is going to do, or the person who is with them is going to do. We don't even plan that far out. We just think, oh man, I'm finna kill him, I'm finna ride on him. We don't think, well, man, them people got family too. They got people who love them too, who care about them too. Even if they don't care about them, they got a certain sense of pride because they're in the same hood, they're in the same gang, they're in the same clique. So we just gonna ride on you out of obligation. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was. Yeah, I got it. I got it now. I got it now. Cube let him out the car. Cube went and handled that business though. And then what happened to Cube? Then Cube ended up dead at the end of the movie. Because that's how it comes back. Typically, that's how it comes back. Most of the people that I know who have killed are dead. They got killed themselves. I'm talking about the rowdy dudes, them bad boys. Most of the dudes that I know that was in the streets that was killers, they ended up getting killed. So you got to think risk versus reward. Okay, the risk is I am going to go out here and I'm going to ride on this dude. We're going to down him. And now that's good because that made me feel good. I got tired of that nigga talking, tired of his mouth. So he went in down. I'm going to down him. And that's the reward. The reward is you got to down him. Now you feel good. You feel good about it. You know, ain't got to worry about him no more. That's the reward. And for some of y'all, the reward might be getting a pat on the back, you know, because you like to brag and get attention. But then the risk is you throw your life away. You're going to spend a bunch of years, a gang of years in prison. You about to miss, if you got any kids, you're not going to watch them grow up. Some other man is going to raise your kids, going to be in a house with your kids, and you ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. If that man start looking at your daughter, because he might start off looking at your woman, but as your daughter walk around that house, especially when she start developing, he might start looking at your daughter or your son. That's right. Boys ain't off limits either. And you sitting in prison can't do nothing about it. The homies that you thought you had that's gonna ride for you, they done moved on because, man, they can't keep on fighting your battles and their battles. Out of sight, out of mind. Even if it wasn't out of sight, out of mind, ain't nobody gonna keep on putting work in for you in the streets while you locked up in the penitentiary indefinitely. You're gonna wear out your welcome. They're gonna get tired of sending you money. Even if and then it might be a situation where they just, man, look, man, I want to help you, bro, but I'm badly making it myself. You say you love your mama. Well, you ain't gonna see mama for a long time. You finna put mama through some drama. You about to miss prom. You about to miss marrying. You about to miss going on all of those vacations and outings and parties that people do when they're young, when they're in their teens and 20s and even early 30s. You finna miss all of that. You going in with peach fuzz and you coming back grayed out. Everything gray, even your pubic hair is gonna be gray when you get out. So you know what you're gonna do, but you don't know what they're gonna do. You know what you're gonna do, but you don't know what your op is going to do. Or law enforcement is going to do. You don't know what the judge is going to do. Because now you're going into a courtroom and you're begging for mercy from people who was hired to not show you mercy. That is a bad, bad position to be in. So all three of these rascals, oh, they thinking heavy right now. Boy, when they first was plotting, I can see them now laughing and joking. Yeah, I got. And then when they did it, when they killed him, got that nigga, got him. Yeah, yeah, that's how we keep it real. Yeah. And I'm not even saying that Julio Fulio didn't beg for this. The dude bragged about killing ops, smoking on ops, bragging about the dead, bragging, disrespecting the dead. It was all funny. He was laughing and joking. He was all teeth before he was lying in that car, struggling to breathe, fighting for his life, and them bullets coming from all different angles, and he trying to duck, but he can't go nowhere. It's only so far you can go when you're sitting inside of a car, trapped with a hail of bullets coming down on you. Only so far you can go. It's only so many places you can hide inside of a car. So thus the cycle continues. So Julio is dead. Now they're dead inside. They sitting in prison. They sitting in jail right now thinking to themselves, who gonna rat first? Who gonna tell first? I'm sure somebody's already talking. And they're also thinking, see, at first it was gang, gang. Now it's every man for himself. Yeah. Now it's each one of them, ain't none of them thinking about the group no more. They're all thinking about their own survival. Each one of them right now is thinking about how this impacts their personal life. Not one of them is thinking, I bet you $1 to a donut, Isaiah ain't thinking, man, I hope this be okay for Alicia. I hope she don't have to go down. I really love her family. I hate this have to happen to her family and they're going through this. Sean ain't thinking, man, I feel bad for Isaiah. He just threw his whole life away. I can take it. I can deal with it. If I could put it all on me, I'd take all the blame. Gang, gang. Nah, homie. Ain't none of them thinking like that. Right now, they're in survival mode. It's every man and woman for himself or herself. Every last one of them are thinking, damn, I hate this damn food in here. I don't like being locked up. I wish I was at home. I wish I had the freedom to turn the TV on whatever I want to turn it on right now. Watch whatever I want to watch on my phone. I wish I can get up and walk outside and get some fresh air right now. I wish I can go to that party. Damn, I wish I could see my girl. Man, I miss my girl. That's what they're saying. That's what they're thinking. And they counting those years up. Because those lawyers, that court-appointed lawyer, I'm sure at least half of them got court-appointed lawyers. Court-appointed lawyer work for the state. The state hires the court-appointed lawyer to plead cases, not to try cases, not to fight for you, but to just represent you. Give you some representation. That's it. That's what they're there for. None of them are thinking about the welfare of the other right now. They're all thinking of themselves. Each one of them right now are thinking, man, I should let this shit slide. Man, I should let that go. Man, I shouldn't have done that. None of them are thinking, yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again right now. I'll do it to somebody else right now. Now, Sean, I don't know, because Sean got caught up in a shooting last year. He was already fighting an assault charge. So he one of those type that think fat meat ain't greasy. These youngsters be pulling out these guns and just firing off, and they have no, they don't, it's like they don't even understand how precious life is. Not even their own life. It's like some of them just don't even, I don't even know how a person get to a point where they don't care about their own life. If I was some of you youngsters, I'd be saying to myself, man, I care about myself so much. I'm not going to let you trick me out of my life. I'm not going to let you trick me out of my freedom. Oh, that's an uncivilized mutt right there. Let me not allow this uncivilized mutt to make me stoop to his level, because I see what he's trying to do. He ain't going to be nothing. His granddaddy wasn't nothing. His daddy wasn't nothing, and he ain't going to be nothing. So he trying to make it to where I'm not going to be nothing. All you got to do is move out of the way of the crash dummy. The crash dummy is designed to crash. That's what the crash dummy's sole purpose is. That's the crash dummy's mission in life. Crash into something. Your job is to make sure that the crash dummy don't crash into you. Just get out of the way and let the crash dummy crash into something else. Somebody else. He gonna crash. The crash dummy don't know nothing else but to crash. The crash dummy got to crash into something. It's what makes him feel alive. So just get out of the way and let the crash dummy crash into somebody else. One way or the other, the trash gonna take itself out. Going into the comments. Kevin Hooks, what it do? Derek Mallory. Call me Hanifa. Okay, Hanifa. Jose Sissy Alma. Juan Kuno. Miss Jazzy is in the house. What's up, Miss Jazzy? And that's another thing too, fam. These little dudes who squeezing these triggers, I want y'all to know, some of y'all got a bad attitude. You tough. You don't want to listen to nobody. You hot-headed. If you find yourself in prison, you're not going to make it. I'm not saying everybody, but some of y'all ain't going to make it in prison. Y'all going to get raped. Trust that. Y'all going to get violated because you ain't built for that. You're not built for hand-to-hand combat. You're not built for that. I seen some of y'all fight. In fact, I seen a lot of, most of the fights I've seen on the internet with youngsters, they fight like this. They fight like they got broken wrist. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work in prison. That's not gonna work. And you also have to be strategic. You have to be a thinker. Most of the people that I've seen in these fight videos, they don't think. They don't do no thinking. You have to think. You have to be strategic about your alliances that you build in prison. You can't get into everybody's fight. Some of y'all don't think. Y'all don't understand. Y'all really don't understand conflict like that. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just trying to give you that truth. I'm just calling a strike and a ball a ball. And this is not a challenge for you to try to prove me wrong. This really is a challenge for you to do better, to avoid that life. I can handle myself in a situation like that, but I ain't trying to go there to prove it. What's real is staying out of that joint. That's real. That's hard right there. Staying out. It's easy to go in. You can be goofy and go to prison. What's real is staying out. What's hard is staying out. What's real is staying on this ground and getting as many of these days as you can get and die a natural death, if that's at all possible. Taking care of your own children and not putting it on another man or a woman. That's real. All this other shit you heard is fake. It's all fake. I don't respect it at all. Some dudes that are locked up, they'll tell you they don't even respect it. And then you got those dummies who get out and come home and brag about their experience in the penitentiary, like they were at a country club. And it works on impressionable youngsters who don't know any better, who ain't got a daddy in the house telling them the difference, or even a mother. Don't let nobody trick you out of your position, youngster. Don't let them trick you out of your position. It's a whole lot of so-called OGs out here that'll set you up for failure. Let me tell you how you know if somebody with you or not. This is an OG, a friend, whatever. If you are thinking about doing something wrong and they try to encourage you to do it, if they don't discourage you into doing it, if they don't discourage you from doing it, that ain't a friend. That's not a friend. The first thing a friend is going to do is try to protect you. If somebody really care about your family, they're going to try to protect you because they care about your family too. And they don't want to be the one who had an opportunity to save you and didn't do it. Now, it might come to a point where a friend will try to discourage you and then realize, well, you're going to do it anyway. And at that point, they just try to give you the best information they can to try to mitigate loss. Because if they're trying to tell you not to do it and it's wrong, then at the very least, when you bump your head, they want that bump to be as light as possible. They want the damage to be as light as possible. Every person that I count as a friend, if they tell me about they getting ready to do something stupid, I'm saying, hold on, man, wait a minute. I hear you. I'm not going to just be, hey, man, you crazy. No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening. I hear you. Okay. Well, what about if, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about doing it this way? Well, have you thought about if you do that, what the consequences are going to be? That really ain't you, bro. Like, I think that you got more to offer than that. You know? See, that's how a friend will talk to you. Because I'm going to tell you something, fam. You know, these relationships that we find ourselves in, these relationships can be very toxic. When it's all love, it's all good. But man, when that hate creep in, boy, it can be really bad. And it'll take a person's mind somewhere that they don't even want to go. It'll take them somewhere where you don't even recognize them. I've talked at least 6 men off the ledge in relationships. I've talked at least 6 men into coming back to their senses and not harming that woman. And all 6 of those dudes are doing fine right now in life. They got a better woman. They got a woman that works for them. They're in relationships with women who value them. Now, they were already looking for that type of relationship, but things happen. You know, man, hell knows no fury like a woman scorned. And in these situations, sometimes it was the woman who was doing too much, you know, after they broke up. You know the usual, you know, trying to bankrupt the dude, asking for more child support when he already paying damn near half his check is going to child support. You know, putting the car on flat, breaking windows, you know, calling his job, saying things to undermine his employment, all these type of things that sometimes that vindictive women can do. And these dudes like, you know what? On social media, yapping, telling his personal business. They get, I didn't talk to at least 6 of them off the ledge, fam. They were going to do it for real. Now, like, man, you know, what if she's that, have you thought about your children? Well, who's going to take care of the babies? Well, who's going to be there to look after them? Who's going to be there to protect them? Who's going to provide for them? If not you. Mama off the chain. She crazy. She off. She a trip. They gonna need some kind of balance. You ain't got to say nothing about mama. They see what she about. You ain't never got to say nothing disrespectful about their mama in front of them. You ain't never got to say nothing. And when she ain't wrong, call her everything but a child of God. But when those kids around, you ain't got to never say nothing about their mother. You ain't got to never say nothing bad about their father. They gonna see it for themselves. Family, I'm talking about real, I'm speaking real. Right now, I'm talking about real. I'm talking about them women was in danger and they had no idea. They were in real danger. And I'm talking about, I'm speaking of guys, a couple of them are, like real hitters, like hitters. And then the others just regular dudes who were just pushed, just pushed too far. And they was ready to crash out. Talked them off the ledge. In most situations, we can really, if you really think about it, everybody is listening to me right now. If you really think about life, how life can be difficult at times. This ain't no easy thing, you know what I'm saying? This life thing ain't easy, especially when you're dealing with other people. Really dealing with other people is what complicates life more than anything. It ain't really you, It could be how you respond, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's other people that put us in these give us these mood swings that we have and everything, and cause us to crash out. It's other people. And if we just looked at life a different way, we look at these situations differently, then we can attack them differently. It's really about what's going on between your ears. That's really what a power is. So, it's an old saying, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it, how you react. Something as simple as trying to get to a store before it closes, and then you get held up by a light. And let's say somebody cut you off or something. Now you hot. Shh. A natural thing might be to go off the trip. But something that we should make more natural is giving grace, because how many times have we cut people off? Not intentionally, but sometimes, we don't be following the traffic laws. Sometimes we drive a little too fast or drive a little too slow. We, get up on people's bumper a little too much. Not necessarily trying to do that, but we do it. Sometimes we cut over and we don't see the other car in the other lane, and we cutting over and it boop, boop, and you are okay. That happens. So this is why I try my best to give grace when I'm driving on the streets. I try to give grace because I know I ain't no perfect driver either. I'm damn near perfect though. I'm pretty good, but I ain't perfect. Kevin Hooks, what's up? Sean Lunatic, what it do? Mr. Nobody, what's up? Curtis M. Voice of reasoning. That's a perfect handle for our topic tonight. Voice of reasoning. All you youngsters out there that like them guns, if y'all want to go out and shoot, you want to go out and kill, go join the army, join the military. They do a lot of killing out there. Yeah, go join the military. You got a better chance of living your life out by joining the military. Got a better chance of at least, seeing your kids grow up, being a part of their lives. Because out here in these streets, that attitude and them guns don't mix. You're going to jail. You are going to jail. Or you're going to the cemetery. Jail or the cemetery, pick one. Ain't none of y'all better than the system. I know that for a fact because I thought I was bad. I thought my friends was bad. My friends thought they were bad. Other people, our enemies, thought they were bad. And everybody got humbled by the system. Everybody got humbled by the system. So you're not going to beat the system. So if you're not going to beat the system and you know that, if you can come to grips with that, then it might behoove you to quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead. You're not going to beat the system. The system is designed to put the gun in your hand. The system is designed to not give you the mental health care that you need. It's designed to not give you the resources that you need. Now, there are resources out there. You just have to be more savvy about reaching out and getting it. But you can get help. There's all kind of help out there. You just got to be more savvy about getting help. But it's out there. But the system is not designed for you to make it. It is not designed for you to thrive. The system is designed for you to fail. And they want you to fail. You think you scan somebody with them guns and stuff. They got more guns and they got more hitters. And they are going to win in the end. They like it when you get the guns and stuff, because now they get to go out and, play urban warfare. They get it now. They get to go out and hunt you down. You ever watched First 48 when they send that task force out to go hunt them down? Man, they be loving it. They look like they be happy to do it. Man, they be putting that gear on like Terminator. Strapping on everything. Vested. Got the headgear. They got tanks, all kinds of stuff. They ready. They going in to extract you. And you're going with them, or you're going to have a shootout right there and you're going to die. But either way, you're going to lose. They ready. You're not going to beat the system. But they like it when you fight. They like it when you kill and you shoot. They love it. Everybody get paid. That's job security for law enforcement. That's job security for judges and lawyers, prosecutors. That's job security for correctional officers, wardens. That's job security for small town America. Those small towns in America, they are counting on you to come into those prisons and work for 3 cents an hour. They count on you to go out and kill and rob, sell that dope. They counting on you to do that. You ain't slick. They setting the traps. They setting the bait. They limit the resources so that you can become so desperate that you jump out there. They limit the conflict resolution resources so that you can snap, throw a punch at the teacher, start squabbling, swing on the police, have shootouts like y'all ass in the Wild Wild West or something. They counting on you to do that. They love it when you do it. I like to do the opposite of what they love. Whatever they love, I hate. I don't like the idea of being made a fool out of. If I know there's let me ask you something, fam. Most of y'all know the trap. Most of y'all youngsters, y'all know those traps are out there. Y'all know the traps are out there. Maybe you guys just got to be reminded. But you know the traps are out there. Even a bear. It's a difference if the trap was hidden. But if the trap is right there, big ass cage right there out in the front, right there where you can see it. And it's a big old piece of steak right inside. Man, that bear ain't going inside of that. That bear already know it's a booby trap. So why would you do it? I'm just convinced that some youngsters just don't like freedom. I think some youngsters, no matter how much they try to act like they care about themselves and how proud they try to act like they are, some youngsters have such low self-esteem that they really don't care about themselves. They really don't love themselves. Because if they did, they wouldn't put themselves in position to get gunned down like a dog. They wouldn't even put themselves in position to hang out with uncivilized mutts. Uncivilized mutts don't love nothing, not even themselves. Uncivilized mutts will get you killed. Uncivilized mutts will kill you. Uncivilized mutts will put you in a position where you're taken off the streets and the free world becomes a distant reality to you. People who love themselves don't hang with uncivilized mutts. Family, I'm just giving you some news you can use, information and instruction to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. You ain't got to use it. I know some of y'all stubborn, some of y'all think you know everything. I am not trying to push this information on you. You can take it or leave it. I've come to the conclusion a long time ago that everybody can't be saved. Some of y'all are going to have to die. You're not going to get it. Some of y'all are going to have to go to prison. You're just not going to get it. Your mama and your daddy love you more than anybody. Well, at least some of y'all mamas and daddies do. I would say most of your mamas and daddies love you more than anybody. They brought you into this world and they can't even tell you nothing. No matter what they tell you, you just think they're the enemy. This person who puts food in your mouth, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and constantly try to warn you and caution you about the bad things in life. And somehow you've made them the enemy. So if you won't listen to them, I know you're not going to listen to me. Well, at least I don't expect you to. So everybody can't be saved. Everybody cannot be saved. I got it. But for the ones who can be saved, this information is for you. Take it and use it. Run with it. Live by it. It'll make you a better person. That's my time, fam. Until next time, I appreciate y'all joining the live. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.